Here we go. It is a wonderful, terrific Thursday, and we're going to do our bell ringer really quick. And I would like to also tell you that next week I'm going to switch it up because I'm getting kind of tired of these bell ringers. So we're going to need to have something different to do next week, some different kinds of problems. Hopefully you all are very familiar with me saying now, when we're learning our fact families, we're learning vocabulary. You fill in the blanks. Tell me what goes here. I'll give you a hint. First letter starts with an F, and it's factor times factor equals product. That's right. Fill in the blanks for me. Let's see, 3 times 8, those are our factors. 24 is our product. And we can flip-flop it around the other way too, and it means the same exact thing, same product. Now division is a little bit different. Do you remember what word we use to indicate the large amount that we're going to divide up or share? That's right, it's our dividend. And we divide that by our divisor, and it equals our, what goes in this blank here? That's right, it's our quotient. So let's see, we're going to take 24 divided by 3, and our quotient is 8. Then we take 24 divided by 8, and our quotient is 3, and that's our daily fact family. Okay, moving right along, let's do our, this got really tiny. Let's do our measurement. Okay, feet to inches, let me think. Feet to inches. Is that horse to fly, or is it fly to horse? I know feet are larger than inches, so I'm gonna say this is horse to fly. Multiply. So let's take our 11 feet, multiply it by 12 inches in each foot. Okay, now here I have to be a little creative because I will admit this is one fact I always have a hard time remembering. So I'm going to start with 10 times 12 equals 120, and then just add one more group of 12 to that. That should give me 11 times 12 is 132. See, I just add these two partial products together. That's my sneaky way of getting around the fact that I never remember what 11 times 12 is. I don't know why, I just can't remember that one. All right, now let's do our, okay, so now we're converting inches to feet. Inches are smaller than feet, and a fly is smaller than a horse, so that means we're going fly to horse, divide, of course. So we'll do 144 inches divided by 12 inches in each foot, and that will, oh, this one's easy because that's a square number. Okay, so that gives us 12 feet. Okay, here we go with name and tell, which is another way of saying identify and describe. I would like you to write me 3 sentences, 3 sentences. I want you to identify the shape, meaning give it a name. And I want you to use the word angles in your sentences. Tell me what kind of angles you see. And tell me if you see either parallel lines or, whoops, spelling. Tell me if you see parallel lines or if you see perpendicular lines. Now remember, parallel lines are like railroad tracks. They travel along side by side, never moving towards each other, never moving away from each other, whereas perpendicular lines are lines that intersect or meet at exactly a 90-degree angle. 90-degree angle. Okay, so you are going to write the 3 sentences, identify the shape, tell me about the angles, tell me parallel or perpendicular lines. All right, Line plot time. Do you remember what we call this line, this side-to-side horizontal line? We call it the x-axis. Okay, now if we were making a bar graph or another type of graph, we might have a y-axis also, which would be our vertical line going up and down. But a line plot doesn't have a y-axis at all. Okay, so we're going to label our intervals, starting with our smallest value, which I believe is 71, but I'm going to put 70. Going all the way up to, looks like 80 is our biggest. Awesome. So our intervals are going to be 70 through 80 going up by 1. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Okay, these are our intervals. And we just put an X to represent each piece of data. 80, 79, 75, 80, 71, 75, and 76. All right, now I want you to add a sentence at the bottom of your line plot. Tell me what this data could represent. Meaning, could it be the number of scoops that kids like to get on their ice cream cone? Probably not, because probably kids don't get 80 scoops on their ice cream cone, so that wouldn't really make sense. Could it be the number of pages they read last night for homework? Maybe. Maybe some like 7th or 8th graders could read 71 pages last night for homework. Let's see, could it be maybe like if they had some trail mix and they were counting up the different kinds of nuts and candies in a cup of trail mix? I guess that could be. Think about what this data could be about, because I think it's, I don't know, I'm getting tired of looking at data that has no story with it. So you guys write a sentence about that. Let's see, is this okay? We can do it. Last problem, volume. To make this bigger though, I can't see it. Okay, volume. Volume is when we measure the inside space in a 3-dimensional figure. So we are going to kind of look at pieces, count the volume of each piece, and then add to find our total. Now there's lots of different ways that you could segment this figure. It kind of depends on how you want to do it. I'm just going to give you one way to do it, and then you, if you have a different way, you use your method, and then let's see if we get the same answer. So I'm counting cubes. Here's 1 cube and 2 cubes stacked on top of each other, and then going back, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here in red, I have 2 layers of 4 cubes for a total of 8 red cubes. Then I'm going to look and see, looks like I've got another stack here. It's still 2 layers high, 1, 2, 2 layers high. This one is 3 going across. So I've got 2 layers high, 3 going across, and two going front to back. So this one I think would be a total of, wait, let me think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be 12, wouldn't it? I think this one would be 12 because here's a group of 3 cubes, and there's another matching group of 3 underneath, so that's 6. And then there's another layer of 6 behind it. So yeah, that's 12. Okay. All right, moving right along. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have just called this red group all one big group, because there's another identical group underneath there. So I'm just going to add another group of 8. Okay, that seems more simple. And then I just have this last group left to count, and it's 2 cubes high. So length times width times height. That's our 3 dimensions to think about. 2 cubes high, 1, 2, 3, 4 cubes, width of 4 cubes, and then the length is also 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. Can that be right? Yeah, this is a big one. 16 times 2 is 32. So I've got to add these values. All right. 12 and 8 gives me 20, so I'm going to add those first because that makes it a little easier for me. And 8 plus 32 gives me 40. Those are just easier for me to add together because they equal tens, multiples of 10. And then 40 plus 20 gives me, okay, I'm getting 60 cubic units. You guys calculate it and tell me if you get the same thing. The last problem.